Hey guys, we're going to be learning about order of operations today, and I have this picture for you that shows the progression of a person as they go from crawling to walking to running. And we really can't get to the running part without doing the crawling part. And so we sort of have this natural order in life. Just like when you wake up in the morning, there's a natural order to the way things go in the morning, or there should be. You wake up in the morning, you comb your hair, you get dressed, and then you have a shower? I hope not, because then you'd be walking around all day with sopping wet clothes. Or maybe you brush your teeth, and then you go to breakfast. And that sort of doesn't make sense, especially if your mom is serving orange juice for breakfast, because orange juice after brushed teeth tastes really, really yucky. Okay? So just like life has a natural order, so does math. And every math problem has to be done in a certain order when there is more than one operation in a problem. Okay? This is the order that you need to use. You need to do everything in parentheses first. So if I have a problem that says, oops, I don't want to do that. 3 plus 2 minus 1, and the 2 minus 1 is in parentheses, then I actually have to do that part first, okay? So my first step would be to do parentheses first. That would make this part equal to 1, and then 3 plus 1 is equal to 4, okay? The second part is exponents. And exponents are these little things that raise a number to a certain power. So after we do what's in parentheses right here, and we get 1, we have to do what the exponent says. 3 to the second power doesn't mean 3 times 2. It means 3 times itself. And we have to do that math problem first, which is 9. So 3 times itself is the number 9. And so that would turn this problem into 9 plus 1, which equals 10, okay? Then we have to multiply and divide. Now, sometimes problems will have just multiplication or just division, and sometimes those will come in various orders. But in multiplication and division, they kind of act as one step. So you have to do these in order, in the order that they come in the problem, okay? So if I'm looking at, let me erase this and we'll try another problem. I think I can grab a bigger eraser next time. Okay. If I'm looking at multiplication and division, let's say I have 3 plus 5 times 2. Well, in this problem, because multiplication comes first, I'm going to do that part first, and I get 10. And then if I add the 3 on, I would get 13 as my answer. If a problem had multiplication and division in it, you do whichever one comes first. So if it said 10 divided by 5 times 3, because division comes first, that's the part we have to do first. 10 divided by 5 is 2, and 2 times 3 is 6, okay? Then we have to make sure that we're adding and subtracting as our last step. So if I get a problem that says 3 times 1 plus 4 minus 6 times 0. Let's see. No parentheses, no exponents. So now I gotta multiply. 3 times 1 is 3. Multiply. 6 times 0 is 0. And then the only thing I have left in the middle is the plus 4 and the minus 0. So that's 7 minus 0, which is 7. Okay, so that's a couple different kinds of problems that you're going to see whenever you're doing this work today. And I'm hoping that you will remember it. Now, a lot of people use a particular sentence to help them remember this. And it's this sentence: please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. The P is for the P of parentheses. The E of excuse is for the E in exponent. The M and the D go together. This is important. This is really just one step, multiplying and dividing. That's why they are together here inside this circle. And the same thing with adding and subtracting. Really, they are one step. So we want to make sure that we do adding and subtracting last, but we do it as one step. Okay, this is another one. This shows you a problem, a big old long problem. Look, it's got exponents. It's got parentheses and subtraction. It's got division. There's subtraction again. There's multiplication. And we have to know what to do first. So the very first thing that we're going to do is the parentheses. And if you do 8 minus 2, you get 6. Okay? The second thing we're going to do is exponents. We're going to do 6 to the second power, and that's where 36 comes from. Okay? Then we're going to do multiplying and dividing. Multiplying and dividing. I got to do this division, 6 divided by 3, to get 2. And then I'm going to do 5 times 2 to get 10. And so now I've got the problem 36 times, plus 2, minus 10. So I'm going to do 36 plus 2 is 38, and 38 minus 10 is 28. Okay? So let's try one of these here. I like to go out to the side of my paper and write please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay? In this problem, there's no parentheses, but there are exponents. So when I look at the exponent right here and right here, I've got to solve both of those before I can do anything else. This one equals 16 because 4 times 4 is 16, and 2 times 2 is 4. I don't know why this is a little bit glitchy. And then I've got a 3. Okay, so I took care of the exponents. Now I have to take care of multiplication and division. Multiplication and division is going to come right here. Okay, and when I do that multiplication, 16 times 4 is 64. And then if I add 3 to it, I get 67. Okay, now I'm going over here to this one. Again, I want to use please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And I first want to start with parentheses. Oh, I have parentheses. I have this whole thing in parentheses, but inside my parentheses, I have an exponent. So the first thing I actually want to start with is the exponent. And 2 to the second power means 2 times 2, which is 4. But I still have 4 minus 4 in parentheses, and 4 minus 4 is 0. And then I've got all my parentheses taken care of. Now I want to take care of my exponents. And I've got 3 to the second power is 3 times 3, which is 9. And then 9 plus 0 is 9. All right. no parentheses. Again, let's write this down. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. No parentheses, but I got an exponent. This is 4. It's my problem. I'll just write it out. Okay, now we're going to do multiplication and division. Since division comes first, we got to do it first. 1 times 10. And 1 times 10 is 10. And 18 minus 10 is 8. Here, exponents first. Oh no, parentheses first. Inside the parentheses, though, I've got to figure out 9 to the second, or 3 to the second power is 9. And 9 minus 1 is 8. And then I've got 2 to the second power is 4. Now I've got division. I got to do that before I do addition. And 4 plus 4 is 8. A couple more. No parentheses in this one. But here's some exponents because remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. No parentheses. I'm going to go ahead and do the exponents. 4 to the second power is 4 times 4, which is 16. Now I'm going to multiply and divide in order. Since I've got 5 times 4, I'm going to put plus 20 divided by 2 minus 1. But now I've got to divide, so I've got 16 plus 10 minus 1. And now I'm going to add and subtract in order. 16 plus 10 is 26, minus 1 is 25. And there's my answer. Okay, over here, 2 to the second power is 4. 7 times 4. So if I'm looking at doing what's in parentheses, I still have to look inside the parentheses and do that in order. 2 to the second power is 4. Now I've got to multiply. 7 times 4 is 28. Plus 1 is 29. And then I've got this exponent right here. 2 to the second power equals 4. And 29 minus 4 is 25. Okay, I hope that will help you get started on this homework.